Well, anyone who suffers from allergy knows it is allergy season. And while many different pollens like grass and ragweed can trigger our allergies, the experts say recently here in Tennessee, tree pollen reached its peak and it's causing us lots of misery. So let's bring in an expert to explain what it's all about, tree pollen, what it does to us, and how you can slow down the sneezes. Nathan Baker is an arborist and the district manager of Davy Tree of Memphis. So let's welcome him in. Hello, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me and for having me to talk about my favorite topic, which is trees.
Trees. He's a tree nerd.
I am.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
First thing you said was you have studied trees and loved trees your whole life.
That's right. That's the truth right there.
All right. So when we think about allergies, how much do trees contribute to our misery?
So you've got to think about the timing too, right? So peak tree allergy season is going to be kind of early spring to right when summer's starting. So we're just really getting started with it, and it's going to continue on for a month or so more. So we need to keep in mind that there's certain species of trees that are more likely, and the top two offenders in this are going to be oak trees and maple trees. So I don't know if you've been outside, but there's a lot of oak trees and maple trees in Memphis.
Yes, there are. So when I go outside and I see all that green schmutz on my car, what is that?
That's pollen right there.
Okay, and that's from?
That's from the male parts of trees.
Oh, so the male trees are bad, or do the girl trees cause allergies too?
So there's a few trees that are male trees and female trees. So in Memphis we've got persimmon trees, ginkgo trees, cedar trees, willow trees, holly trees. Those are like the ones that'll be male and female. So when you're planting, you can kind of say, well, when I'm putting this tree in, I want the female trees because they don't put off the pollen. But there's kind of a caveat to that in that, like a ginkgo tree, if you get a female tree, if it's pollinated, you'll get stinky fruit.
Yep.
So there's kind of a double-edged sword you got to work with.
We had
right.
a horrible gumball tree. All right, so what do? We love our trees. We are a city of trees. We're not going to cut down the trees.
That's right.
So what do we do?
So you could plant some, they call them smarter species for it, right? So two trees that do really well for pollen and that thrive in the Memphis area would be the black gum and then tulip poplars. You're going to have a lower pollen content from those trees.
Lots of those in the city. And so you mentioned until early spring, until early summer. So are we talking about allergies and trees blooming through June?
That's right. So we're looking mid-March into June. And then from June on, that's when grass takes over. You'll start having grass allergies.
The experts tell us that allergy season runs longer now. Why is that? What's happening with the trees?
Well, you look at the growing season that we've got, and I would think that that's a big contributor to it, and that our growing season is really long, and everything loves to grow here.
Yeah, it does. And so you're not giving medical advice, but I will tell you I have serious allergies. H1 and H2 histamines, look for them, Zyrtec, Claritin D. D is for decongestant, yeah, and it helps. Dogwoods, last question. Dogwoods are really showing out this season. How come?
Well, I think that it's a combination of the warmer temperatures early in the year. I think that's why we're getting a better showing from the dogwoods.
Yeah, because a lot of the plants this year just really popped. All right, Nathan Baker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
This was fascinating. This went by quickly. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
all right, let's turn things back over to Kim now. Thank you, Joy.